right, guys, welcome to Rome Reviews. I'm Rome, and we have the Pixel 9 Pro Fold here. I was really looking forward to this device. I actually really still like it a lot. I have a few things I love about it and a few things that I just don't care for about it, but they're not necessarily deal breakers. So what we're going to do here is a faux unboxing because I've already opened it and set it up and played with it for a little while now, but I just kind of want to show you guys what you will be getting when you order this device and how the unboxing will go for you. Please keep in mind that US phone sellers slash makers are not really giving you anything with these devices anymore, except for the cable and maybe some information in the box. But you know, yeah, I really wouldn't expect much. So first things first, um, like I said, this is a full unboxing. So as you can see, I've already peeled the tabs on the back and opened it. So let's go ahead and slide this out and put this sleeve over to the side. And this is the front of the box, and you'll see they have a picture of the phone opened, which is nice. There's nothing in the back, and it has this paper, recycled paper material on it, which is, fine. Protect the environment. So when you open the box, you'll see here that they have the phone on top, and we go ahead and move that out of the way. I kind of took my time and wrapped everything back up just so you can be as close to the experience that you'll get as possible. So you'll see over here to the right, you have what I mentioned before, the pamphlets. That's actually pretty thick. I didn't look at that the first time, but that's kind of thick. That's crazy. Um, you have your SIM tool, your SIM removal tool, and it has the pictures here. Kind of let you see that. Kind of tells you where things are. Power button slash fingerprint reader, volume rocker, charging port, SIM card tray right there. Yep. So that's pretty much it for that piece of it. Let's see. Put that over to the side, and you got your USB-C to USB-C. So that's pretty much it. That's all that's in the box. Nothing crazy. They were able to get this box to be crazy thin because of that. They don't really put anything in there anymore. I really still wish that, not saying for every generation of phone, I don't know if that would necessarily make sense, but not for every generation of phone. But once you make big jumps in charging capability of a device, well, I guess they haven't really made any major jumps in charging capability of their devices, but we'll get into that later. Anyway, yep, that's the box, super thin, nothing really in it but the phone and charging cable and the SIM tool. But let's put that over to the side for now. And here we have the Google Pixel 9 Pro Fold. And let's go ahead and reveal that bad boy. So here's the device, and I've taken the liberty of just, like I said, I took my time taking everything off just so I can do this and just show you what you'll be looking at. So here's the device, and we'll go ahead and get it powered on. And let you see how they've incorporated the Gemini into the Gemini AI model into the Google logo when powering up. So yes, here's the Google Pixel 9 Pro Fold. Um, Before I jump into that inner screen, which I'll lead by saying I absolutely love, that's my favorite part of the phone, the inner screen. But here's the outer screen, and what we have here is, I want to say this one is a 6.3-inch screen from corner to corner, 1080 by 2424, and a 20:9 ratio. It has a 422 ppi pixels per inch, and this one is 1800 nits, and they claim that it can go up to 2700 nits, but I have no way of fully testing that. But just trust when I say that you will have no issue seeing this phone in direct sunlight. So there won't be an issue for you. Um, with that being said, here's the main screen or the outer display. I won't say the main screen. I won't get into that. But yeah, this is the outer display. Very sharp, very colorful. I love it. I just love Pixel's implementation of Android. Just that raw Android experience. Absolutely enjoy that. Very smooth. This one is not an LTPO display. It is OLED, of course, but it's not LTPO, so it doesn't have that variable refresh rate that'll help with um, the smoothness and everything like that. It won't go up and down. It does have 120 hertz, so no issues there, but it won't go up and down to help with battery conservation. So keep that in mind on the main display, even though it won't really be an issue on the main display. So don't worry so much. But while we're looking at the main display, you will notice, and I won't make too big of a deal out of it because it's not a deal breaker. It's just something I noticed when I first took the phone out of the box. The bezels around the screen are really thick. I don't know why they went that with that design choice, but they did, and that's fine. Like I said, not a deal breaker, but it is noticeable. And on top of the thick bezels, you will notice that the hinge over to the left actually takes up a little bit more space. This space right here. So there's quite a bit of, I will say, empty space there. But like I said, not a deal breaker, just something to be aware of when you're looking at this device. So we'll go around to the back, and I actually go for the porcelain color every time Google releases a device, no matter what their colors are. Except for one time, I went with that bay blue on the Pixel 8, I believe. So yeah, other than that, I normally go for their white version, just because I love their implementation of it. But yep, here is the device. Very nice. The camera module in the upper left in this weird square, rounded square shape. I don't know why they went with that either, but you still get those great pixel cameras in there, even though they're not as high megapixels as some other devices out there. They are still great. They're still going to have that computation that goes into their photos that'll make them pop and look very pixely. Um, I know pixely probably isn't the best term because you don't want your photos to look pixely, but they look very Google Pixel like. So if you love Google Pixel photos, you will love these regardless. So with that being said, there is a 48 megapixel wide sensor on here with optical image stabilization. There's a 10.8 megapixel telephoto on here and a 10.5 megapixel ultra wide on here. Um, I feel like a couple of those sensors are a step down from their last iteration of the Pixel Fold foldable device, the original Pixel Fold. But the photos look great nonetheless. So that's that. So let's go ahead and jump around to this inner display, which is, like I said before, my favorite part of the device. So on the inner display, it is LTPO OLED, which has that variable refresh rate where it can drop down to 1 hertz from 120 hertz, and that will help with the battery conservation that I mentioned earlier. This display is has 1600 nits and can go up to 2700 nits at its peak. Once again, you won't have any issues seeing the screen in the sun, so don't worry. This is a 8-inch display, which is one of the largest displays for an American accessible foldable device. There are other devices that are slightly larger, but they're from other countries. They're hard to get here in the US. So, yep, keep that in mind. The resolution of this display is 2076 by 2152 pixels. So this display has it's very close to a squared ratio. just slightly more vertical than horizontal. So, yep, that's that. So, moving on the inner display, beautiful. No complaints here. They did a great job. Oh, one thing that I will mention, not necessarily a complaint, but just be aware. On the crease, on my particular device, I noticed when I was swiping, going through social media, reading different news articles, I have this weird bump, one halfway up the screen and another ma- uh, majority of the way up the screen towards the top. It's just this weird bump. And I don't know if the camera is picking it up, but I'll check it later. But yeah, I don't know what that is. But so I have opened a case with Google to get a repair on it or a warranty replacement, whichever one they decide to go with once they get the device. But moving on, I won't focus too much on the crease because it's a foldable, it's there. So just keep that in mind. You will feel it when you swipe over it. It's actually considerably noticeable from other foldable devices that I'm currently reviewing, working on a review for. So stay tuned to that coming in the future. And yeah, and you'll be able to see the difference. I'll make sure I point that out. But yeah, anyway, so on the inner display as well as the outer, you'll get that typical Google experience, which I love their implementation of Android. Smooth edges on there, smooth transition, nice little touches on just coming on and off and load and the screen popping in when it loads in. Um, Let me see. I want to open a couple of apps. So we'll go with just anything. You'll see Google. Swipe up a little bit from the bottom to bring up that app tray. Hold the icon, drag it over to the right. Boom. Very smooth. You'll notice no issues here. Um, Going from app to app. Yeah, very smooth. Some people that are heavier multitaskers than I am, they will mention where you can't open three apps at a time. Um, I like I said, I'm not a heavy multitasker, so it doesn't bother me as much. But be aware that the current software version, as I'm reviewing today, is not capable of opening more than two apps at a time. Um, yeah, I want to say that you could swap the apps, but I guess I'm mistaken. I thought you could on here, or maybe I just don't know how. But yeah, you can adjust the size of them, which is a nice feature. I just wish Google would put more time into making their foldables capable of doing more, especially for the price range. Now, you do get the screen real estate, but for the price range of this device, you do want to be able to do more, not just have more screen. But anyway, um, that's that. So let me see what else would I haven't really touched on the see I haven't even activated the Gemini Advanced features that I get for a year. um I'll have to spend time with that and do that in a future video, so drop a comment if you would like me to do that. But yeah, haven't really touched on any of those AI features slash apps that they've put on this device this year. I haven't really used screenshots because typically I'm looking at phones and I'm very aware of the phone I'm looking at, and I would not forget it because I'm obsessed. But and I don't really screenshot much else because I mean outside of memes, and I don't need any additional information on those. Um, but I do want to spend some time with Pixel Studio. Once again, I haven't touched it much. But I do want to test it and see what it's really about and see how often it hits versus misses. So yeah, that's something I want to spend more time with. Once again, that'll be a video in the future as I play with the phone more. Hopefully I get to play with it and record a video before I send it out for the warranty repair. But yeah, that's it for the most part. So as you can see, I may be in a minority on this, but I actually like how this device looks outside of the minor gripes about the bezels on the front. and the hinge a little bit, and the camera module. Those are just minor things. It's just my opinion. I wish that they had done it more centered like they did on the original Pixel Fold and stretched the width of the back. And I'm sure there were some design decisions that went into that why they changed that, but that's fine. No worries, not a deal breaker at all. But yes, what I'll also do in the future is I will spend more time on taking some photos and showing you guys some photos from there. But I can promise you, if you enjoy photos that come from any other Pixel device, you will enjoy these unless you're looking for extremely crisp, top of the line photos. You a foldable just cannot compete with a slab phone at the moment. So just keep that in mind. But otherwise, you will love these photos. One last thing I will mention before I wrap this video up is the wireless charging. You know, you normally expect it to be in the center of the back of the phone, right about here, but for some reason, Google lowered it. So keep that in mind when you're ordering these MagSafe cases and things of that nature. They should be adjusting their cases to match this, but for some reason Google did that and they didn't say anything. From what I know, from what I'm aware of, they didn't say anything, so no one was aware of this. And there were so many cases shipped out to people, and no one was aware of. So they got their cases in there. They were confused about why their charging wasn't working right and things of that nature. So just keep that in mind. Um, there, you will be getting new cases out, and I think they are taking their cases back from people, having them send them back so they can either, I don't know if they're fixing them or just completely replacing them. But anyway, just keep that in mind when you order cases, in case they're still out there on Amazon and things like that. So you'll be aware before you spend your money on that. But yeah, that is the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, my initial review. Love the phone overall. Great software with some minor inconveniences and inconsistencies. Um, but yeah, if you're looking and if you're in the market to get this phone, you'll love it. I promise you. Just keep in mind, just do your initial investigation on the phone, especially around the hinge. Because if you are, I know it's minor and I may be making a big deal out of it, but if you feel the hump and you feel like these weird lumps in it, I recommend you send it back. I don't think that's normal. I haven't experienced that. Even in the original Pixel Fold, that was not a thing. I want to wipe the phone off before I pop it up on screen again. But yeah, that was not a thing. This hinge on this device is smooth. It's smooth straight up and down. I don't feel any lumps as I'm rubbing my finger up and down it. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Just do your investigation of the device. Just make sure you get it taken care of before it goes out of warranty. But other than that, yeah, appreciate you stopping by, hanging out with me. And like I said, I'll do a more in-depth review as I spend more time with the phone. Um, oh yeah, please. If you get anything other than a black phone, please get clear cases so you can see the beauty. I mean, you chose that color for a reason, so you might, you want to make sure you can see it. I have a cheap case that I'm putting on here. It has no MagSafe or anything. I just like to keep a case on there to protect against scratches and things like that, and it helps with the grip of the phone. So, yeah, appreciate you stopping by. Feel free to stop by for more content in the future. Please like and subscribe and hit that thumbs up button to show support. Goes a long way. Really appreciate you guys. All right, catch you later.